So I want you guys to join in on this song, and Mitch plays it so beautifully. Let's sing it together. Step into the arms of love. It's a feeling you can take hold of. Join us in our celebration. Feel the grace flow through your heart. Embrace the friendship and connection. When you become a part of healing and inspiration, balance and faith, prayer and contemplation, freedom and grace. I say amen, 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 amen. Everybody, I say amen, 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 amen. And so it is. It's such a fun way to start. Draws us together, allows us to feel the things that each and every one of us feel together when we walk through this door separately. We're now here, united as one, for this is unity. Please join me in consciousness. Take a deep breath and release it. Please recognize with me the presence of God right here in this very space, in this beautiful sanctuary here at Unity of Pasadena. And that presence of God often feels like love. So draw on that beautiful feeling of love. And let's all feel for a moment the presence of God together. We feel it in, around, and through each other. We feel it in, around, and through us. We feel it right here in this sanctuary. We feel it through the activity of our musicians, and we're so thankful for them. Beautifully putting together a consciousness of art and spirit. We feel it in all of the things that our prayer chaplains do to hold the light for such a beautiful space as this. We feel it in our board of trustees who make sure that everything is accomplished according to the manner in which it should be. We feel it in each and every one of you. We're so thankful for our streaming and our sound. We're so thankful for our PowerPoint, our ability to communicate beyond just the walls here at Unity of Pasadena, but through the miracle of virtual streaming, we can bring people into this space so they can enjoy what it is that we enjoy, for we love Sundays. And so it's with this Thanksgiving that we recognize and know that today is the day. This is the day where we all become one once again, together in this space. With great thanksgiving, I release it into the law of mind, knowing that it's done. And please join me by saying, and so it is, amen. Whew. What an amazing, amazing moment this is, isn't it? It just is. And we get a chance to do some things in here, and one of those is sing together. So we'd love you to join us in Holy, Holy, Holy.
Join in. We are holy, holy, holy. am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy.
Prayer like, I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole. Yes, God, thank you.
Well, I think that just kind of magnifies it when we stand up and sing together. You know, this I am holy is a truth. It's a truth that we recognize here in Unity. And so right now, I want to recognize another truth. We are so happy to see each and every one of you. And welcome to Unity of Pasadena. I'm Reverend Greg Dorst, and I am looking for those that I haven't seen before. And I don't see anybody I haven't seen before, but welcome back for those of you that I haven't seen in a while. So fantastic. That's terrific. And if you're new on streaming, then hello, we love you. We are going to gather your names before the end of the service here, and I'm going to say a special hello at the end of the service for you. So we appreciate you being there as well. So here at Unity of Pasadena, we just enjoy life, and we live it as a oneness episode, meaning we feel the love from each other, we give the love to one another, we recognize and know that God is all there is, so we are that which God is. You are brothers and sisters then of me and of one another. We love that idea. For there's only one thing, say it after me, there's only one thing. It may look like more than one thing. It may feel like more than one thing, but it's only one thing. Expressing as you, expressing as me, and everything we see. That's a great statement of unity. We also have a unity blessing that I'd like you to join me in. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way you are. And a statement of faith that I'd like you to say with me as well. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good omnipotence, and I am one with that presence and power. So we're going to talk a little bit about our community today, and Charmaine, you are here to do exactly that. We appreciate it. Yes. Yeah, give yourselves a hand too.
I'll be brief. Good morning. Glad you all managed the time change. Hopefully it's the last one we'll do. What a great day. I love Sundays. Oh, all minds are joined. Our vision statement is aligned with Unity Worldwide Ministries. Please join with me in affirming our vision. Envisioning a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And becoming that vision translates into being the channel for the divine in action. Please join with me in affirming our mission. Transforming lives by living and sharing our inner truth of divine wisdom, compassion, and love using practical spiritual principles. And of course, please join with me in affirming our core values. Creating community, living love, teaching truth, serving spirit. And each of these statements are located in the front of your bulletin, and they represent our intention as a ministry. Inside your bulletin is also our monthly calendar, so please remember to check your bulletin and our Unity of Pasadena website calendar for all the latest happenings. March birthdays. If you have a birthday this month, please stand up so we can celebrate another trip around the sun with you. Happy
Day to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear you and you and you and you. Happy birthday to you.
Today is the second Sunday of the month, and hospitality is hosted by those whose last names start with D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So thank you, Team D. And next week is the third Sunday of the month of March, so people with the last names that begin with KLMNOPQR are asked to provide hospitality. Please remember to arrive a few minutes early to set up your food, and remember to stay a few minutes after to help clean up. We are updating our website, so you will see Peggy floating around taking photos of you. I'm gonna change that. That didn't come out quite right. Peggy's taking candid pictures, and at the end we may have, like everybody move to this side and get like a big group shot of the sanctuary. But anyway, so that's what's going on. Never fear. Next Sunday, we welcome back the Sonic Sisters, Basha and Pinocchio, for their sound healing meditation and Reiki blessings. Please see me today or Norma if you would like to register by cash or check. Otherwise, you can register online with your credit or debit. It will be here in the sanctuary following fellowship from about noon to 12:45, and you will still have time to get a little bit of food and fellowship. Registration is $20. 2 weeks from today is the annual meeting, March 26th. We will be electing the new board members. We'll be looking towards the future for Unity of Pasadena and enjoying a slideshow presentation celebrating some of the highlights from 2022. So please join us for the annual meeting. And we have little owl paddles again. Fire and ice. Progress is being made. I think Rangers is going to be here this week to dismantle and replace 2 of our heating and air units. The church needs your support in this endeavor. So far, we have had about $1,000 that have been earmarked specifically for the fire and ice campaign. We want to make sure that we're comfortable in bone-chilling weather and also when it's sweltering out. So if you have the means to contribute extra amount, please write fire and ice on the memo line of your check or on the outside of your envelope, and you can just drop it in the basket or hand it to one of the board members or Barbara, and we will make sure that it is designated for the fire and ice campaign. Reverend Greg's class has been moved to April 23rd and 30th. It's going to be a 2-part session, so you have time to go home and find some questions and percolate on the material. Save the date. More details will follow. And speaking of more to follow, Gal Sassoon will be back on May 20th. The title is The Epic Tales of the Bible, How Ancient Stories Can Improve Our Modern Lives. It will be another Saturday evening event from 6 to 8. Registration will begin next week online and in person next Sunday. It's also, again, $40, just like last time. There are flyers available in the fellowship hall, so you can grab one, go home, mark your calendar, and then we'll get started on that. So, moving on. Our prayer chaplain for today is Colleen. She will be leading us in our meditation, and in preparation for our meditation, Marty will be reading the daily word. Thank you.
What do you know? It's at my height. Yeah, right. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I have to tell you an experience before I read the daily word. I set my clock ahead last night because I was very fearful that I would be late this morning. I woke up very early, and I laid in bed because I don't get up till 7 o'clock. But of course, that's really 6 o'clock by what's going on in my body. And it was dark, and I remembered what I was going to be reading today, and in my most authoritative voice, I said, "Let there be light." And 7 minutes later, at sunrise, there was, so it works. Thank you. Which leads us to the daily word today, illuminate. I welcome the light. Taking a moment to appreciate the beauty of a sunset, I realize that in another part of the world, the first rays of a rising sun are bringing light to a morning sky. Whether I can see it or not, the sun never stops shining. Somewhere, a new day is dawning. Much more brilliantly than the sun, the light of God, too, is always shining. Sometimes my thoughts may be so focused on a challenging life situation that I do not sense this divine light. Then, in a flash of insight, I experience again the illuminating presence that, even in my darkest moments, is as near as my next thought. I affirm, let there be light. I breathe out frustration and worry. Breathing in, I am filled with the light of truth that illuminates my mind and shines from within my heart. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Genesis, 1st chapter, verse 3. Thank you. Not ready to jump down yet.
Hello, hello. I get some more volume. Check, check, check. Hello. Good morning, everybody. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let Spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and free as I continue walking in this mystery. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am grateful every moment, every day. And I am kinder every moment, every day. Thank you.
I'm not that tall. That's okay. You can hear me. Absolutely. All right, that's all that matters. Let us begin with the prayer of St. Francis. God, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine presence, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is through grace that we are given eternal life. We've had some rain. Everything is fresh, clean, the air is beautiful. So I've been doing a little spring cleaning. And you know what that means? Going through stuff. And I used to go to the library and take out Bartlett's Book of Quotations and write them down. And then I used to notice that some of the tea bags had little phrases on them. And I found a couple of really old tea tags. And the first one said, "The breath is the voice of the soul." And the second one said, "The voice of the soul is breath." I thought, oh gosh, somebody's trying to tell me something. When we exhale, we activate our parasympathetic nervous system. So we have two response systems: fight or flight, or healing and recuperation. So it's the exhale that puts us into that place of calm, of steadiness, contentment, and peace. It activates the healing essence of our spirit. So let's take 2 minutes. And for the first 2 seconds of those 2 minutes, I'd like to ask you to stand up for just a moment. Do you know what they say? They say that smiling requires less muscles than not smiling. So as we go into this meditation, I'd like everyone to smile just a little and take a breath. We'll start with a breath. And as you release your breath, let's sit down. Boy, everybody held their breath. And as the exhale occurs, let's just look within. The person who looks outward dreams. The person who looks inward awakens. Let's surrender now to our highest good and simply allow our soul to speak. Let's listen, let's be open, and just be still in gratitude and in kindness. Ask nothing, just be open and receive. And now as we go forward into this beautiful day and this beautiful service, let us be grateful.
Bring it on, everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for the next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I finally learned to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for the next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I've survived many times before, broken hearts and slamming doors. I'll be alright, yes I will once more, just as I did back then. I'm gonna rise again and bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for the next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. Yes, I know it's gonna be everything new. Thank you. Thank you.
That's beautiful. I love it. Everything new. You know, we look around and we expect things to brighten up in the coming of spring, you know, and we're on the way. We're on the way. We got flowers that are going to be peeking out in a super bloom this year, most likely, because we got so much rain. You know, we live at Chino Hills State Park, and usually when there's been a lot of rain and people are expecting a super bloom, it gets real crowded around there. Lots of cars, people wanting to go up and take pictures and take hikes and take a look at the newness. You know, this is a time of renewal. This time is recognized as well in traditional Christianity as Lent, and that's the lead up to, of course, the crucifixion and the resurrection. And we do Lent here, but we do it in a different way. We do Lent here recognizing and knowing that it's a renewal, that it's the bringing about of the consciousness of renewing ourselves. We become more aware. We bring back the higher self, which really is the part of us that we hope and expect will guide us all the time, but doesn't. But we recognize it and we bring it back. So I have this little book. It's called Keep a True Lent. It's written by Charles Fillmore. And, you know, I've told you guys that in order for me to get my ordination as a unity minister, I'm already an ordained religious science minister, but in order for me to be ordained as a unity minister, I have to take several different classes, and I'm in the midst of 2 about the Fillmores. And this particular book here is part of the process of becoming an ordained minister through unity. It's part of one of the classes that I took, and Keep a True Lent has some things to read and some things to understand and some things to take into account each day of Lent. So why don't we go to that? Let's take a look at what Charles Fillmore said about this day in Keep a True Lent. He called this conservation. This is the 3rd Sunday of Lent. And he says in the first paragraph, "We should ever remember that our youth, which we love so well, never really dies. It merely falls asleep in the realm of the subconscious. People grow old because they let the youth idea fall asleep. By using spiritual understanding, they can awaken it." I think by spiritual understanding, what he means is that we go within and we recognize the truth of life. We recognize the truth within ourselves, that we can make this happen anytime we want. So for me, what I like to do is, in times of Lent, I like to look into the Daily Word archives, and there is such a thing. How many of you get the Daily Word at home? All right. Well, there is such a thing as the Daily Word archives. You can go into the archives, and you can pull out the Daily Word from 1924 on. They're all there. They're all there. And so today I named my talk, I Am Renewed, and so I looked for renewal in the Daily Word, and I wanted to find one that would have been approved by Charles Fillmore when he was alive. Now, I don't know how yeah, exactly. I'm sure he's approving of everything that's going on, hopefully of everything that's happening right here. But he had some obvious approval being in the physical world at that particular time in 1936 when this was posted. Written. We post them nowadays on the internet. They're written. Yeah, it's interesting how we change, isn't it? So this is a February 1936 Daily Word, and it's on renewal. "I am this day renewed in consciousness, and I behold all things renewed in spirit. He hath put a new song in my mouth." That's Psalms 43. "Think of yourself as being continually renewed in consciousness. Know that useless and obsolete ideas are continually giving place to new and worthwhile ideas. Realize that your consciousness of newness assures you of new, vital, stimulating, and practical ideas. Know that these new ideas give freshness to your mind and relieve it of tiresome, monotonous, and non-productive thinking. Behold yourself as being renewed in spirit. See your body, your affairs, and your world as they exist in spirit, ever renewed, ever expressing the spirit of newness upon which they are established. Your world will be renewed through your consciousness of newness. You will come to see all things as being continually renewed in spirit. The consciousness of newness will cause your whole life and your whole world to be reinterpreted and presented to you in a new light. Your new ideas about life will cause all things to be seen according to spirit. You will behold your environment as a whole new world, and you will continually be called upon to behold pleasing surprises. So I like that. 1936 Daily Word. So if you want to see some old Daily Word writings and kind of get a sense for how they were seeing things in unity back in the 20s and 30s and 40s, you can go to the archives of the Daily Word and you can pull them up. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed this very, very much. The reason why I enjoyed this in particular for today was that it talks about what I'm talking about. It talks about renewal, the spirit of renewal. It talks about the true Christ story. And that is that we are all born into the Christ consciousness with our potential, of course. We move forward in that, and we're reminded every time Easter comes near. So in the workup, we're going to be talking more about Lent. But I want to bring this renewal thing and conservation idea to the forefront a little bit here. And so I'll pull away from the podium some. I'll tell a little story. This story is kind of a twofold type story because the first thing I want to recognize is that when you come across something that is, I don't know, it seems timeless now, but was written a long time ago and it has relevance today, you kind of get the feeling that there's been a renewal of this idea that has affected us in ways that you might not ever have expected. And secondly, this idea of conservation, that we should be attuned to the idea that there's something going on around us and maybe we should participate in it rather than disrupt it or destroy it. That goes along with how we treat the earth, how we treat one another, how we treat society, what it is that we do or what it is for us to do that's our highest and best for everyone. So you're probably aware of the old story about the starfish on the beach. I know Bill loves this story, and Bill, you told it not too long ago, and it's a really neat story. And it's not ancient, brings up some really neat ideas that could be ancient, but it was written many, many decades ago. And it tells the story of an old man who goes to the beach every single day, and one day there are a bunch of starfish that have washed up on the shore. And the old man's walking along the beach as he normally does, and he sees a young child out there, and the young child is running around the beach picking up starfish and flinging them back into the ocean. I mean, as fast as he can do it, he's trying to take these starfish and put them back into the water so they won't dry up and die. And the old man, as he's walking along the beach, comes up to the little boy and says, "Hey, little boy, what are you doing?" Little boy says, I'm getting these starfish back in the water. He says, "There are thousands of them here. You're not going to make any difference at all." He picks up one and says, "It'll make a difference to this one," and throws it back into the water. Now, I love that story. But here's the thing. This is how this works in the lives of each and every one of us. Now that you know this story, then you might have a responsibility. And now that I know the story, I know that I do, and Jackie does. So we're walking. We live on a lake, We're walking down the road, the pathway at the lake. And there's been a lot of rain, of course. And this lake has an egress, meaning water comes into the lake somehow. Either it comes in through rain or comes in through runoff through the hills. And then it has to leave the lake. So it has an egress. It has an ingress and an egress. There's circulation going on in the lake. And this egress pulls some of the water out of the lake and down this little culvert and into a drainage area. It's usually just water. But we were walking along this path, walking along the road, and we look down into that culvert and we see a bunch of turtles. And they're in water, I don't know, maybe 6 inches, maybe 8 inches deep. And they can't get back up to the lake because they've been washed over this cement wall and dropped down into this culvert. We counted four turtles, and we're standing there and we're looking at this and we're thinking, oh my gosh, there's no way out for them. They are done. This is the end of turtledom for them. It's on to the next thing, whatever that might be. And we thought, well, maybe we can do something. So we started talking about what was going on, and we're pointing down there. And soon we attract a person who comes over. He was a workman in the area, and he came over and said, "What are you guys looking at?" And we showed him the turtles. We're all trying to figure out how to do this, how to get these turtles out and back in the lake. And he says, "Well, I'm just going to take off my shoes and wade in there and get them, and I'll hand them up to you." So he went in there, he pulled out the turtles. We got 4 of them that we could see, pulled out the turtles and handed them up one at a time. And Jackie and I walked them over to the lake and put them near the edge of the lake. Now, these turtles are about, 8 to 10 inches shell length from tip to tip. They're pretty big. They're pretty big turtles, yeah. And so when I saw those turtles, the first thing I thought was that starfish. That starfish story is the first thing that came to mind. I thought, oh my gosh, we can make a difference. We can make a difference. Let's figure out how to do this. And that consciousness drew somebody to that moment and helped us all to make a difference, at least for those 4 turtles. But what I like about the story of the starfish is that it is transferable to your own life. And in this situation, it was transferable to our life. I mean, we couldn't very well walk by them and just leave them. We couldn't do it. And that says something about who we are, I think. And I think that says something about who you are. As I look out at you, I can see that you absolutely understand. You understand what it is that we were feeling when we saw these stranded turtles. It's a life. It's a beautiful life. Can we do something to help it? And we did. We were able to gather people together, and it was really, really cool. And we felt like we were the little boy on the beach, throwing the starfish back in the ocean. So I wanted to start you off with that story before I got into the heavy stuff. Are you ready for heavy? All right. So I got this really, really great friend who's sitting with his front row when I'm not seated in the front row. And Jan Ubersetzig is here, and it's so good to see you, Jan. Yeah, I do too. I absolutely love Jan, and there are all kinds of great things to love, but one of the things to love about Jan is that she is this magnificent writer. And Jan produces some of the greatest stuff you'll ever read. And I have told her before that I've taken some of her writings and made talks out of them, so if you ever hear your stuff coming out of my mouth, you know, and you know how that happened. And so, but the neat thing is that she gives these things to me, and she says, I'm thinking about publishing these. I'd like you to take a look at them and edit them. See what you think about them. And I said, wow, that's great trust. That is really, really cool. And in the process, I get a bunch more talks, you see. And I absolutely love that, because she is so spiritual. I mean, she really is incredibly spiritual. And I thank you for doing that. But she's also a wordsmith. Today, I'm going to be talking about a word that maybe she may never have heard of. Yeah, it's Greek. It's a Greek word, but I figured you as a wordsmith would really enjoy this word. This is a word that is in Ephesians chapter 1 in the Greek. If you speak Greek and you want to pull up the Greek for Ephesians chapter 1, you'll find this word. It's kind of the longest word I've ever seen ever, anywhere. It's anakapheia lustistai. Anakaphe alustistai. I'm gonna spell that for you, okay? Just in case you want to look it up. You can look this up. Anakaphe alustistai. A-N-A, for those of you who take notes, A-N-A-K-E-P-H-A-L-A-I-O-S-S-A-T-H-I. What a word, huh? It's kind of like, you remember supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? Yeah, this is the Greek version of that, I think, the Greek version of yeah. You want to, okay, here you go. All right, let me put my glasses back on. So I'm renewed. A-N-A-K-E-P-H-A-L-A-I-O-S-S-A-T-H-A-I. And if you Google that, you will find some things about anakapheia lustistai. You'll find some things. You'll find some translations as to what it means, and you'll find that it actually is in Ephesians 1, in the Greek. So what it means is, and I'm going to call it renewal, But it actually, its actual translation Anna means again. Kephale, which is what it's taken from, means head. And the rest of the word means bring it back together again. So Anna, bringing kephale, everything back together under the head. It's to renew all things, to restore all things to the way they should be. It is to bring what it seems to be broken into a renewed state. It is to heal, if that's what you're looking to do. It is to bring something back to where you would like to see it. And when Paul was talking about this in the letter to the Ephesians, he was talking about it in the sense that society was broken. I mean, he was telling a story. He was saying everything's really broken. You know, the way people are acting, the things that are going on. You know, there's poverty and there's hatred and there's anger and there's war. And, you know, wouldn't it be nice if there were peace? Well, there will be someday with anakathealustastai, which is bringing everything back to its renewed form. We can look forward to this happening at some point in time. And that was the intent of his letter. It's really fascinating stuff because you don't often see in the Bible where it says, you know, everything's going to be renewed in the sense that the word everything means even the people that don't believe the things I believe. Everything is everybody. Everything is not just plants and animals and human beings, but our thought processes. Everything to be from that moment on will be filled with the anakathealustasizing of life, the renewing of all life. It's such an interesting thing to take a look at that word because that word brings me to this idea that what Paul was trying to say as he was bringing this forward to the Ephesians was that this idea is not just for Jews or new Christians or people that were on the path to being new Christians or people that were on the Jesus path or the Christ consciousness path or whatever you want to call it. It wasn't just for them. It was for everybody. Those that had never heard the words would still be involved. Those that had never lived those words would still be involved in this newness, for it encompasses the entire thing called life. You don't often see that in religious writings. It's usually, hey, join us so that you get what we get, which is everlasting life in some places, some spaces. So Paul was saying this is for everybody. This renewal is for everybody. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you know, this is so cool because the way we look at the Bible allows us to take what he was saying to the people about the world and make it our own. So anakathealustastai, if you bring it inside yourself, says no matter what you've been going through in life, no matter what's happened, no matter what has broken in your world, no matter what has come into it that has made you feel as if it's broken, no matter what is in the past, it will be renewed. It will be reformed and brought back in its beautiful, beautiful newness. This is the message of the resurrection, by the way. This is why we study the Bible around this season, so that we can take things like this and bring them to our own lives. You see, if you're going through something in your life that feels like it can't be lived by you in this moment, there's a renewal on the way. There's an anakathealustastai on your way. There is a promise that all things will be renewed. And you know what? I'm going to take him up on that. I'm going to take Paul up on that. And I'm going to take Paul up on this idea that I can make it my own as well. You see, that's what Charles Fillmore did with the Bible when he said, we look at it metaphysically. We're going to look at the Bible metaphysically, which means that you can take a look at the things that are in the Bible and see if there is a very, very good way to bring it about in your own consciousness and to start living that truth in your own individual way. What a neat thing, isn't it? I mean, most people look at it as a history book or go, this is what it says. This is what the fundamental text means. Does it relate to your life? Well, that doesn't matter. In here it does. In here we wish to learn about how to move through things, about how to live and love them, even if they look like they can't be lovable or lived through. So, how do you like that word? Anakapheia alustastai. Yeah. I mean, if you play Scrabble, there aren't enough letters, right? But if you played Scrabble, you would be like the world champion, you know, if you got the letters to. What's your word? Anakapheia alustastai. Oh, of course. Yeah, if you play that on a Scrabble board, boom, you're in heaven immediately. You don't even have to write down the score. This is so fun. Isn't this fun? Yeah. So look, not only did I get to talk about a word that I could barely pronounce, but I was involved in saving the lives of 4 turtles. Man, wait till I tell my grandkids. They will definitely like me more for that than having explained what Anakapheia alustastai means. So here we are in the season of renewal, you guys. Just relax into it. Rejoice. Recognize your thoughts. If they're old thoughts, let them go. If they have some value, start to spring forth like flowers on the hillside, hold on to them. Smell them, feel them. In your meditation, spend some time with them. What a way to live, huh? So when I tell you these things, it's because I love you. And when I say namaste to you, it means the God in me recognizes the God in you. So that means we love each other because we are each other. Namaste. I need coaching. Because I'm liable just to take off and leave you guys. You know, I mean, you see me walk up the steps. I was going to go around the back and leave. Oh, look at this. We got Charlene, we got Debbie, we got Audrey, we got Allison. Allison, this is for you. Oh, that's the Allison we're talking about. Yes, indeed. So thank you, Jackie, for bringing this forward. We'd love to let the people know who are on streaming that we see them, we feel them, we know them, because we are them. Come on forward, Millie. Oh, good, you got something for me. So what we do is we practice the law of circulation. And this is not only for us, because we get to get things moving through this stream of circulation. You know, we get to the water, the ingress and the egress, you know, is a great story for us to relate to, because a lake will die if we don't circulate, you know, and just like us. So we have to circulate our love, and we do it in a lot of different ways. And this is one of them. So this is, thank you, Jackie, for handing this up. This is mine. We're going to put it in this, so we're going to seed it. We seed that, you see, boom, just like that. And we get to know that we are supporting something that really matters to us, a community that really makes sense, ideas that are healing. And it's not just this community, but it's the community around us as well that we affect. So let's do that. We're going to say together our community giving. God is the source of my overflowing supply, and I am grateful. And thank you for ushering today, Millie. Yes, thank you.
I am creating my highest good. Those doors are opening like they should. I am creating a better life. I wake up every day and every day is nice, 'cause I believe see it, and before I know it, my soul will show it. I'm gonna get the words next time. I am creating my highest good. As I take new roads, it's understood. I am creating my happiness. I try to catch it all as it goes flying past. 'Cause I believe it, I see it, and then before I know it, my world suddenly will show it. Now you can do this part with me. It's easy. I am creating. Yes. I am creating my highest good. And again. I am creating. Yeah.
I am creating. I am creating my highest good. My highest good.
I am creating my highest good. I'm doing so much more than I ever thought I could. I am creating a better space. I know I'm always in my brighter, perfect place. 'Cause I believe it, I see it, and then before I know it, my world suddenly will show it. Oh, yes, it will. Here we go. I am creating. I am creating. I am creating my highest good. Do it with me now. I am creating. I am creating. I am creating my highest good. All right, very nice. Thank you.
Well, it looks like your highest good's my highest good. You know, I love that. Fantastic. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Ooh, thank you. Millie, I appreciate everything you do. We're just going to bless this tithe, this treasure, and we're going to just know that with integrity, it's used for the highest good of Unity of Pasadena, for the surrounding community. It brings about something that is interesting and unique to each of us that we pass to the rest of the world through consciousness. So we know that what we do here affects the rest of the community and affects mankind as a whole, and we thank you for supporting the good work that we do and the good things that happen here at Unity of Pasadena. We promise to use it wisely. I release, I let go, and so it is. Thank you. Oh, Gary, oh, hey, happy Texas Day. Woo. Hey, Gary, I play your drums all the time, by the way. People tell me I'm not as good as you. I get that. I get that. It's true. I'm not. So here's what we get to do. What we're going to do is we're going to do the silent unity prayer for protection, and we're going to stand up for that. And then we're going to sing what are we going to sing today?
I choose love.
Well, let's sing that. All right. Before we do this, I want you guys to know that we have prayer chaplains that can support you in prayer. And today our prayer chaplains are Colleen and Michelle, and they'll be here to work with you after the service if you need prayer. So please say with me, the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine, and all is well.
Peace in my life is growing because I have love. Love's always present. It's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are all part of each other. We are one. unites us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are all part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one.